So we can create this main function to have our code in there. Now you see this trick when you say if name underscore equals main. So what does it mean? It's just when only execute this function when we are running this script. So if you are importing the script in another script, the function will not be called. Okay, so this is just a little bit a safeguard in order to avoid running the code when it's not needed to be run. Okay, if you put the code loosely on the script itself, like on the file itself, on the module, and then you import this module in another Python file, then it will be the code that is in the loose will be executed when you import it. Okay, so we don't want to execute it unless it is running. I mean, we're running the file directly. If it happened to be imported, the main function is not going to be called. Okay, so what do we need to do here? We need to define an object of TrendSetter, right? And when we define the object of TrendSetter, we sent it an object of YouTube source and an object of Reddit source. So we need to import all these classes here. All right, so from TrendSetters by location, import TrendSetter from YouTube, import YouTube source, and from Reddit, import Reddit source. And if we are going to print the TrendSetters here, so we need to import them as well. All right, so here we can define an object of YouTube source. So the sources that we're gonna send to the TrendSetters by location. So let's say YouTube, and then I'll call the constructor, and then Reddit, and then I'll call the constructor. And then when I call setters by location equal, and then I call the constructor of that class, then I can send it the object I created. Okay, so that's one way. A shorter way to do that same thing is that you just in the constructor you call in the constructor of the TrendSetters, you call the constructor of the sources right away. So it's the same effect, is just two different ways to do the same thing. It's a little bit shorter. So it's just a matter of preference, and it's a matter of like depending on the situation. There's no better way. It depends on the situation. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Now we have that TrendSetter. Now we need to do what? We need to find the location, the trending topic. So we just call find trending topic. So let's say the location is Toronto. Okay, and then find TrendSetters. And then I should be able to say setter by location dot print setters, and it should give me the TrendSetters that were found through YouTube and through Reddit. Okay, so the way we combine them, we just add them to the same list here. This is a very simplified application. So when I run this, it's almost never the case that you run your application and get what your result the first time. Okay, almost 99.999% of the time, you're gonna when you try the code, you'll find errors. And then you just keep iterating over the errors, fixing the errors, and then try. And then you find other errors, fix them, and then try. And keep going. And it always helps if you run in debug mode, because that gives you, like, it helps you when there's an exception, it takes you directly to where the exception is. Here, for example, here's an error. Okay, so the error says YouTube source object has no attribute find popular. What do you mean? YouTube has no attribute find popular. That's strange. So if I go to the files here, if I go to YouTube source, how come there is no find popular? Oh, get popular. Oh, okay, I see. So both of them has actually the name. So I made a mistake here. Let me see if it's not find popular, it's get popular. All right, so now we fixed one problem. Let's see if it was fixed. And even though if it was fixed, were there other errors? Well, nothing was printed. Oh, it's because I'm not running the correct script. I should be running here. This is the script that needs to be run. This is the entry point of the application, so I run it here. Now there's another error. Now it says there's a problem with this child ID. Now you see here, when we try to read a value from a dictionary, when the key doesn't exist, it gives us this error. All right, where are we reading here? Now, when we say plus equal, means read the old value and then add to it this number of views. So this was a mistake here. So if we find the channel ID, we would add to what exists. But if it doesn't exist, then we just initialize it. We don't add to it. All right, so another error fixed. Let's try again. Now there's another problem. Oh, didn't I just fix that? Reddit source get popular takes one positional argument, but we're given two. Okay, so there's a problem in the definition of the function. Let's see here in Reddit. Yeah, so we missed the adding the self. Okay, we probably have missed it here as well. Get popular. Let's see. No, so in YouTube it was defined correct. So let's try again. All right, so now here it seems to be adding like accumulated. We have two topics. Now it found some things on YouTube and some things on Reddit. Now you see, remember on Reddit we just put a fictitious list, okay? But at least on YouTube it should be real. Now there's something wrong with finding the channel here, because now they have different views, so they should be different channels. So why are we having the same channel name? So that's a question we need to ask. Now, if we go to the get popular videos, here the call for the channel. Now we see when I call the channel name, I send it channel ID with a capital D. which is a mistake. It should be channel ID with a small d. All right, now let's try again. All right, so that looks all right to me. That looks all right. Okay, different channels, different views. All right, so that is what we have covered today. Thank you.